If you hit a wall around 2 or 3 p.m., it's not a character flaw. It's usually a predictable mix of blood sugar swings, light exposure, stress chemistry, and how you ate earlier. The good news is you can fix most afternoon crashes without leaning harder on caffeine. In this video, you'll get a simple, repeatable plan you can test within a week. We'll start by identifying what your crash actually is: sleepiness, brain fog, irritability, or cravings, because each one points to a different lever. Then we'll build your anti-crash stack: a better lunch structure, a quick movement reset, smarter hydration and electrolytes, and a light strategy that supports alertness. None of this requires perfection. It's about removing the biggest triggers and adding a few high-return habits. By the end, you'll know exactly what to change first, what to measure, and how to keep your energy steady through the afternoon. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 2. First, figure out which crash type you have, because the fix depends on the signal. Type 1 is sleepy, heavy eyes, yawning, and slow reaction time. That often points to poor sleep, a circadian dip, or a too warm, too dark environment. Type 2 is brain fog. Your body isn't tired, but your thinking feels thick and you reread the same sentence. That often tracks with a big lunch, dehydration, or a blood sugar drop after a high-carb meal. Type 3 is wired but tired. You feel restless, snacky, and slightly anxious. That can happen when stress hormones are carrying you, and then they fade. Type 4 is cravings plus irritability, where you want sugar or salty snacks, and everything feels harder. That often points to a lunch that was low in protein, low in fiber, or missing enough total calories. Pick your main type. You can have more than one, but choose the dominant one. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 3. Now let's talk about the most common driver: the lunch blood sugar roller coaster. If lunch is mostly refined carbs, like a big sandwich on white bread, chips, and a sweet drink, you can get a quick rise in blood sugar, then a sharper drop later. That drop can feel like fatigue, fog, and urgent cravings. The goal isn't no carbs. It's a slower, steadier curve. A simple rule is protein first, then fiber, then carbs and fats. Protein and fiber slow digestion, which helps smooth energy. For many people, aiming for roughly 25 to 40 grams of protein at lunch is a solid starting point. Add high-fiber plants like beans, lentils, vegetables, or whole grains. Then include carbs you tolerate well, in a portion that doesn't knock you out. If you consistently crash after lunch, this is the first lever I'd test. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 4. Here are a few lunch templates that work because they're boring in the best way: predictable energy. Template 1. A big salad bowl with chicken, tuna, tofu, or beans, plus olive oil and vinegar, plus a side of fruit or whole grains. Template 2. A grain bowl with a clear protein anchor, lots of vegetables, and a measured carb like brown rice or quinoa. Template 3. Leftovers that follow the same pattern: protein, vegetables, and a carb you portion on purpose. If you eat out, look for meals where protein is the main event, not the garnish. Also watch liquid calories at lunch. Sweet drinks can push the spike higher and faster. One more detail: if you eat lunch very late, you may be stacking hunger on top of the circadian dip, which makes the crash feel worse. A slightly earlier balanced lunch often helps. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 5. If you only do one biohack, make it a 5 to 10 minute movement reset right after lunch. This is about circulation and glucose handling, not burning calories. A short walk is the easiest option. If you can't walk, do a light circuit: sit to stands, easy squats, wall push-ups, or a few flights of stairs at a comfortable pace. Studies on post-meal movement show it can reduce the size of the blood sugar rise, which often means less of a crash later. Keep it easy. If you go hard, you may feel more drained, especially if you're already underslept. The goal is wake the body up, not train. Pair it with a quick posture check. Stand tall, open the chest, breathe slowly through the nose for a few cycles. That combination can shift you out of the slump fast. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 6. Next lever: hydration, and specifically electrolytes. A lot of fatigue is low-level dehydration, and it often shows up after lunch because you've been busy and underdrinking all morning. Water matters, but electrolytes help your body hold onto that water and use it well. If you drink a lot of plain water and still feel flat, you might benefit from more sodium through food, especially if you sweat a lot, eat very low carb, or drink several coffees. You don't need fancy towders. You can start with a glass of water and a salty snack that also has protein, like yogurt with a pinch of salt, cottage cheese, or a simple broth alongside lunch. Also, be careful with the "I'm tired so I'll drink something" trap. Sweet drinks can worsen the roller coaster, and too much caffeine can backfire later. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 7. Light is a bigger deal than most people think. Your brain uses light exposure as a signal for alertness, and dim indoor light can make the afternoon dip feel deeper. If your crash is the sleepy type, try a light reset. Get outside for 2 to 5 minutes, even if it's cloudy. If you can't go outside, move closer to a bright window for a few minutes. The point is brightness, not heat. Also check your workspace. If it's warm, still, and dark, you're basically recreating nap conditions. A small change like lowering the room temperature a bit, increasing airflow, or turning on brighter overhead lighting can improve alertness. If you're sensitive to late-day light affecting sleep, keep the reset earlier in the afternoon, and avoid blasting bright light late in the evening. Timing matters. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 8, let's talk about the micro-nap option because it's powerful when used correctly. If you're truly sleepy, sometimes the best fix is not more stimulation. It's a short, controlled rest. The sweet spot for many people is 10 to 20 minutes. Long enough to reduce sleep pressure, short enough to avoid waking up groggy from deeper sleep. If you wake up feeling worse, your nap was likely too long, too late, or your sleep debt is significant. A helpful trick is a caffeine nap. Drink a small coffee or tea quickly, then lie down immediately for 15 minutes. Caffeine takes time to kick in, so you wake up as it starts working. This isn't for everyone, and it can affect sleep if done late. But for some people, it's the cleanest way to reset without chasing caffeine all afternoon. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 9. If your crash feels like stress, wired, scattered, and snacky, then the lever is nervous system downshifting. When you're under pressure, your body can run on adrenaline and cortisol for hours. You feel productive until you suddenly don't. A simple reset is 2 minutes of slow breathing with longer exhales. For example, inhale through the nose for 4 seconds, exhale for 6. Keep it gentle. The longer exhale nudges the body toward a calmer state. Then do a quick brain unload. Write down the next 3 concrete actions you'll take, not the whole to-do list. Ambiguity is tiring. Also check your afternoon schedule. If you stack meetings back to back, your brain never gets a recovery window, and the crash is almost guaranteed. Build in a 5-minute buffer if you can. Calm focus beats frantic focus. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 10. Now the caffeine piece, because the goal is without more caffeine, not no caffeine. A common pattern is a big morning dose, then nothing, then a desperate afternoon rescue coffee. That rescue coffee can help, but it can also push bedtime later, reduce sleep quality, and make tomorrow's crash worse. A cleaner approach is to cap your total caffeine and move it earlier. Many people do well with caffeine in the first half of the day, then switching to water, decaf, or tea, with very low caffeine later. If you still want an afternoon boost, try a smaller dose, and pair it with movement and light, instead of relying on caffeine alone. Also watch hidden caffeine in energy drinks and pre-workouts. The point is to stop the escalation cycle and protect your baseline energy. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 11. Let's make this practical with a simple 7-day experiment. For week 1, don't change everything. Pick 2 levers, 1 food lever and 1 environment lever. Food lever. Hit a protein target at lunch and add fiber, then keep carbs consistent for the week. Environment lever. Do a 5 to 10 minute walk after lunch, or do a light reset plus 2 minutes outside. Then track 3 numbers each day: your crash time, your crash intensity from 1 to 10, and what you ate and drank at lunch. That's it. After 7 days, you'll usually see a pattern. If the crash moved later, got weaker, or disappeared, keep those changes and add one more lever, like electrolytes or a short nap. If nothing changed, your next step is to look harder at sleep duration, sleep timing, and medical factors with a professional. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 12. Before we wrap, a quick note on when to take crashes more seriously. If your fatigue is extreme, sudden, or paired with symptoms like dizziness, fainting, heart palpitations, shortness of breath, or unexplained weight change, don't try to optimize your way through it. Also, if you're sleeping enough and still feel crushed every afternoon for weeks, it's worth discussing with a clinician. Issues like anemia, thyroid problems, sleep apnea, blood sugar regulation problems, and mood disorders can all show up as daytime fatigue. The strategies in this video are lifestyle levers that often help, but they're not a diagnostic tool. Use them to gather useful observations: what time the crash hits, what meals trigger it, and what interventions help. That information makes any professional conversation more productive. Your goal is steady energy, not constant stimulation. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Moving to slide 13. Let's put it all together into a simple afternoon crash protocol you can memorize. Step 1. Fix lunch structure. Protein plus fiber, then carbs you tolerate well. Step 2. Move for 5 to 10 minutes right after eating. Step 3. Do a light reset. Outside brightness and a slightly cooler environment. Step 4. Hydrate with intention and consider electrolytes through food if that fits you. Step 5. If you're truly sleepy, choose a 10 to 20 minute nap, not a random hour-long collapse. And step 6. Keep caffeine from creeping later and later, because that often steals energy from tomorrow. If you want to keep improving, start with the lever that matches your crash type and run the 7-day test. If this was helpful, subscribe for more practical, evidence-informed routines you can actually stick to. And comment with your crash type: sleepy, foggy, wired, or cravings, so I can tailor the next video. This information is not a substitute for medical advice.